Hello everyone and welcome to another video here with Rotaries and Jet Skis. We're working on Matilda again, the 79 RX7. So I have been driving this car now around for like 100 miles or something like that. So the car seems to be doing well. The transmission shifts good, diffs okay-ish. But I know I am going to keep it and keep on driving it. So it's time to do some preventative maintenance on this car. So, I have not yet changed the oil. Generally when you're doing a revival on a car, you want to let it run for a little while before you change the oil. Maybe not 100 miles like I have. You want to do this so that you can get rid of all the sludge it's kind of gotten in the top of the engine. Rotaries are different too. They don't really hold oil up in the motor as much. The more goes right back down to the pan. But this oil was super clean, super clear. It still was nice and viscous and everything when I put it between my fingers, so it's time to change it now. So I got myself some STP conventional 1040. It's pretty important that you run conventional in this, especially that you don't switch back and forth between synthetic and conventional. It can make seals swell and really hurt. I think it's your oil retaining seals is what it can really damage. So I got myself some conventional 1040. And I got myself a K&N oil filter. I always get the K&N ones because I've done a lot of research in oil filters, and they seem to allow for really good flow while also filtering fairly well. I have seen that the wicks flow a little bit better, but they don't filter quite as much as the K&N does. So that is a K&N HP1004, so that's your same for your old carbureted 13Bs and your older 12As. I bought a lot of these in my time. So then I've got myself some coolant. I just got some all makes, all models, your regular coolant. I got the concentrate. I will be mixing it with distilled water. Currently there is just distilled water in the motor. So that video way back where I put water in it, that's still what's in it. It's now mid-October, it's starting to cool down, and it's really just better to have antifreeze in there in general, so I'm going to be putting some antifreeze in. Now for belt. This belt is like probably 20-30 years old, so there's a good chance that anytime I drive it, it's going to just shred itself, and then I'll have no belt. No belt means no alternator, and more importantly, it means there's no water pump. I did not get one for the AC at the moment. Honestly, I kind of forgot, because normally I'm used to buying one for my 85, and all I ever get is a water pump belt because I don't have an AC compressor. So I'll probably just be taking that one off for now. But this belt is a Dayco 15310. I have tried a lot of different belts, and this one I've definitely found it grips the best. It doesn't seem to stretch. I saw on there it's for like an old, it said like Ford Explorer or something like that, which I don't really get because I used to have an Explorer and it just had a giant serpentine belt, but it's what it said. Okay guys, so about to change the oil, and you can see right there's the oil drain plug for the car. Normally you probably wouldn't be able to see that with the stock manifold, but since this has a header on it, you can get to it from the top. Now I have a wrench here with a 19mm socket on it, so I'm just gonna go down in there and pop this loose if I can get it on. goes. So undo it and then let this drain out. And I cleaned the pan so we can see the oil coming out of it, so I can show y'all how clean this oil was. Okay y'all, so we got the oil out here. As you can see, it's still got a lot of its properties. If I take this pour, you can see it's still very much oil. It looks really dark because the pan's dark, but it's still very oily. So that's why I was okay with running this for as long as I did, still inside the car. So now I'm gonna put this in another can so I can recycle it, and then we'll fill up the car. Okay y'all, so I lied a little bit there. We're actually gonna change the oil filter first. So I've got my new one right here. We will set that down right here, and these should just be able to twist off by hand most of the time, at least with a older rotary like this, because they're right here on the top, you can get a good grip. If they don't, you can use like a friction tool to get them off, or you could do the really weird thing and jam a screwdriver all the way through it and try and get it off. One thing I like about these K&Ns is they actually have a little bolt or a hex head on the top that you can put an adjustable end wrench on and get them. But here we go. Here is our old filter, if I can get it off. Here we go. It's actually an old Wix. Now I don't know when this was installed. I'll have to look through the records to see. It looks brand new. I'd say this oil was probably changed right before the car was parked. But one thing you want to do is always wet your seal on this before you put it on. Just keeps it from leaking and setting down easier. I just take some off of the old filter, wet it down. There's usually a little in there. You don't need much. Just get it so it's a little slick. Take your new filter and just stick it down on there. And go down. And remember, this has like a nice rubber seal on the flat surface. You do not need to get this super tight. Just one hand down on there. If you're two-handing it, it's going to be really difficult to get off the next time. So, got that off, toss this out, and now I will fill this thing up with some oil. So next up, I will probably get to the belt. Now this is probably going to be another time lapse of me just changing the belt, but I'll walk you through the steps right here. So this one, here's your alternator. Here's the belt that I'm going to be changing, and I can actually see cracking on it here. All you're going to do, loosen, there's a bolt right here that holds the alternator to the front cover. You'll just loosen it, don't take it off. There's a bolt right here that's on the adjuster arm of the alternator. Loosen it, don't take it off. Once you do that, just kind of take the palm of your hand, just go like that, and you'll knock the alternator down. At that point, you'll be able to get this belt off. Normally, if you didn't have an AC compressor, you'd be able to just slide it, and then you just kind of work it over the blades of the fan. Well, the AC pump is still on, and it still has a belt, so I will need to take that off. It's just same deal. I just need to loosen the AC compressor a little bit and slide the belt off. So I will go ahead and get to doing that. This will also be a time lapse though, because there's really not many tips I have. Maybe I'll stop when it's actually time for me to tension it, and I'll show y'all that because there's a little bit of finesse to that. So I'll let y'all enjoy another time lapse. Okay, y'all, so it would seem I got the wrong belt. I can almost get this on, but I can't quite. When I bought it, I bought the one I get for my 85, which has a different alternator, which is smaller, and it goes lower down so I can slide it on. Well, this one won't go down any further, so the belt will not fit. So I need to go see if I can get a one size larger belt for this car. Okay guys, so that took a little longer than I thought getting this new belt. As you can probably tell, it's a lot darker now. I met some guys at the Advanced Auto and I just was giving them rides in my other RX7, the 85. So got a new belt that in theory, this one should work. It's slightly larger than the last one, so it should fit over everything. Let's see. It does. Let's pull this up. Oh gosh dang, it's too big. Okay everyone, we're back and it's another day. So as y'all just saw, I had got the wrong belt, and then I'm pretty confident I filmed it. I bought another wrong belt. First one being too small, second one being too large. Now I have this one. This one should work. This one is a 15320, okay? It's actually what I took off. I purchased originally the one that I use on my 85 RX7, and the alternator is like half the size of this one, and it goes a lot lower so I can fit that belt on. I like using a smaller belt because as it stretches, you can kind of get a little bit more life out of it, but this one should work. It's the same as what I took off. There was a lot of talk at the parts store. Got this one too. This one's probably too big, but hey, I'll have it for something. Maybe I can use it for the AC. But okay guys, so I'm gonna drain the coolant now. So you see, let me see if I can zoom. That nut right there, that drains the coolant out of the block. I believe it's 10 or 12. I will just open that up. It is like 99% water in this car from when in an earlier video when I just put the distilled water in it. So I'm just gonna drain it out onto the ground. Now, in the first one, when I caught it, the best thing to do with that actually is to just flush it down your toilet. That way it can just go through the water filtration. Remember, antifreeze, animals drink it, it's not good for them. It's really bad for them. So I will just go ahead, I'll drain that out, and then I will get back to you when we're filling it back up. Okay everyone, so I got the coolant drained out. There was actually a lot more antifreeze in there than I thought there was, so I ended up catching it. But I got some new stuff to put in, and I realized I bought the wrong stuff. Normally I buy the concentrate, but I ended up buying the premix stuff, but it's what we have and I don't want to go to the parts store, so I'm going to use it and dilute it and check it and hope that it still has a freezing point that's acceptable. So let's go ahead and pour this junk in here. so I'll need to add some more oil. I ended up using the extra oil I got in my other car last night.